way do you think scientifically, or do you understand science?
Basic level science.
Yeah, basic.
Basic. If I describe natural science to you as measurable, observable, testable and repeatable, would you agree that that's the core of science?
I suppose it's if you can replicate it.
If you can replicate it.
That's what the academia would say is scientific.
Yeah.
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
No, if you can replicate something in a lab, they say this is a fact.
No, even a lab.
Anyway.
In natural science, we can observe the real world.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Aztecs saw the sun. They said, yeah, he goes, yeah.
So, based on that, I'll just get straight into it and I'll ask you: do you believe that you live on a globe?
My name's Leslie and I'm from East Lothian. I first seriously questioned the heliocentric model when I stumbled upon a video on YouTube pointing out certain things about the Earth being flat, and it instantly sparked my attention, and it's kind of just evolved since then.
A round planet, ball-shaped planet.
I would say that we were taught in school that the Earth is a sphere, a globe, but obviously for hundreds and hundreds of years before that, the assumption was that it was flat. Once
you realise that everything that you once thought was fact actually isn't fact, it was quite empowering to kind of discover all this new information, and I quickly, off the back of that, I quickly realised that all these beliefs and ideas and stuff that I had in my head were actually only other people's ideas and theories, and realising that was pretty amazing.
So why I agreed to do the 20 questions today? First and foremost, I think it's important that more and more people start spreading their truth, start trying to find out what the hell's going on here, and just to encourage anybody else that's a like-minded thinker to do the same thing. Don't be scared, don't be shy, just get your message out, start spreading the truth. Let's nail this. Once this lie is exposed, the rest will come crumbling down and we'll be able to take power into our own hands again.
I mean, once you know, and you can't deny it, and I think it is really important that I can tell my friends and my family, because this can impact their life as well. It can better their life, empower them, Life doesn't have to be living a lie, a huge lie.
Well, it's been a 3.5 year journey for me, John. Started sort of late 2013. I had a bit of an awakening through a spiritual development class that I won't go into, but it opened doors for me that allowed me to get to this point. I started watching things, Michael Tellinger videos that were about sort of ancient aliens and Anunnakis and these kind of things, and we were seeded. And then I was watching people like Santos Bonacci, and then eventually I came across Eric Dubé. I think it was the 200 Proofs, and I was just blown away. And because I was kind of ready mentally to receive this kind of information, it all started making sense. But the flat earth thing only really happened last year, so I'm still relatively new to the scene. But I've dealt with it quickly. But as I say, in total, it's been about 3 years, I think, in total, since I started waking up. But the flat earth.
Can I ask you, what shape's the horizon when you look at the horizon?
It looks flat. Yes, it is flat. Yeah.
Even when you go on an aeroplane.
Has it got a curvature when you're on an airplane? Because you assume it's flat, you probably tell yourself it's flat.
Because it's a globe, you're looking for curvature.
Possibly, yeah.
But some of the windows are curved and stuff.
Yeah.
What if I says to you that people send up high altitude balloons to 121,000 feet, and the horizon is perfectly flat and at eye level?
Yeah. Well, that would seem strange.
Yeah.
It depends. I don't know how high you would have to go. If it was a sphere, I don't know how high you would have to go to view it as a sphere. You know, I mean, if I suppose the guys in the what's the International Space Station? I don't know
NASA.
what. No, it's the International Space Station, so it's NASA, it's the Russians. I don't. When they send
Believe
pictures
that's
down,
true.
if you believe it's true, that's the thing. Yeah,
That's true.
when they send pictures down, it's obviously a sphere. But if you believe that's true, yeah.
Are you aware of a thing called a fisheye lens?
Yes, I've heard of a fisheye.
Most
lens,
GoPro cameras nowadays
Yeah.
get a fisheye. It curves
And
everything.
curves everything.
It actually, it actually curves it anyway.
So if we go back to your understanding of, you know, being able to recreate real science,
Yeah.
you know, showing things,
Yeah.
do you understand water and how liquids behave?
In
Reality,
what
in
you
reality.
mean when they're heated and stuff like that?
Not even when they're heated, just the behaviour of them.
Oh,
Like, what do you mean as in like trying to stone and how to move and stuff?
Well, if I says this to you, do you think it would be possible for me to get a body of water and then make it conform to show the exterior of a shape? Do you think that's reality?
what do you mean by that? Do you
freeze
mean
it, then
no? Do you mean if you
shape?
put water into a vessel, does the water take its form?
The
Yeah.
water
What do you
takes the water will take the form of the vessel.
Yeah.
But if I try to put it in the outside of the vessel,
Oh no, it's just the water's just going to run away. Isn't it?
right. So based on that simple fact alone, and we know that the Earth is 70% covered in water.
Yeah.
Water always maintains its level. It'll always be parallel and flat from one point to the next. If not, the water will flow. So we know that, and that's testable. and
On
we-
on the gravity on Earth, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'd agree. Well, because of the gravity on the Earth, then the water will be level.
Gravity or not?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I mean, it's getting
gravity is just a theory as far as
It
we
is,
know.
yeah,
It's
obviously,
never
yeah.
been.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
explain things by density and buoyancy.
Yeah.
So if something's more dense, it sinks than
Yeah.
the environment that it's in.
Yeah.
If it's less, it'll go up. So like a helium balloon,
Yeah.
a helium balloon rises
Rises,
because the
yeah.
helium is less dense and
Yeah.
lighter than the
Yeah.
air.
It's lighter,
So you know, where is the gravity in there? You know, it's described as density and buoyancy as far
I
as I'm
wasn't
concerned.
paying that much attention in elementary physics, so I couldn't argue that point with you. But
Well, for me personally, I used to like watching a lot of the Nova, the science documentaries. Always wondered about the Earth we were on. After discovering how much lies I was being fed, how much CGI was being used and everything, the penny just dropped with the whole space programme thing for me. Really made me question, is there an outer space? Do we live in a ball floating about an infinite vacuum? The computer generated images just summed it up for how far they were going to convince me that I was on this ball that just seemed helpless out there. Well, it was roughly the start of 2014 before I first clicked on a flat earth video on YouTube, but it was previous to that where I started questioning the whole outer space and the planet or the plane we might be on. Well, initially when I sussed out that they'd been lying to me about where I live, it didn't really come as a surprise to me. As far as I knew at that point, everything else that I had discovered was a lie. So this was just the icing on the cake for me.
For everybody else, really. It's helping me consolidate it all, John. It's helped me deal with it all, getting out here and doing real things and seeing more and more real life proof. It's just helping me deal with it all. It's been quite a short journey for me. It only started with the flat earth journey started a year ago, so I'm still quite fresh to it compared to most people. The other side of it is spreading the word. If I can spread the word as a working class kind of guy, then hopefully other normal people or working class people, men, women, can wake up to this and realise what's going on. You know, I'm not an academic, I'm not a guru, I'm not some sort of cult leader, I'm just a guy that's realised the earth is flat. So hopefully we can spread the word quickly. It's taken them 500 years to get to this point, to convince us it's a ball, and hopefully in 5 years we can turn it all round. I mean, there's the Pentlands, you know, there's Berwick Rock, there's the North Sea horizon, there's all 3 bridges, there's the Forth River flat, the Highlands over there. We can see it all. 30, 40 miles all around us.
Overwhelming feeling that it couldn't possibly be true. Such a huge mass deception, you know, of all humankind. And it was a really, really big feeling of disbelief, you know. Not being able to comprehend how big this lie actually was, how far it went. It was kind of scary at first, but then once you realise the true nature of how things really are, you know, you understand that it isn't that scary.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know that water is always flat. When you go for a bath, you go to
On
a
Earth,
swimming
yes.
pool on Earth.
Yes,
So that's where
yes,
we live.
yeah,
That's where we live.
No, I'm just saying, you know, when you see them on the space station,
Yep.
and the water, the droplets are going everywhere.
Yeah,
and-
but that's not
yeah,
here.
that's because of gravitational differences. Yeah.
Well, that's a contrived environment.
Yes.
But when we're dealing with the natural world, it's how does it behave here
When
in
we're
the
dealing
natural
on
world?
Earth, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, I can go into a lab and make things.
Yeah.
That's not really how they behave in nature.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to establish is how do things behave naturally.
Naturally, water is flat,
Right.
regardless
So
of
you know that.
what part of the Earth I've been to.
Yeah.
I've travelled a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever
So
I've been,
if
water's
water's flat on Earth, then how could we be living on a sphere?
I don't know, because it's
Like
like,
gravity, that's what they'd say.
well,
what
I
they'll
don't
say,
know
yeah.
what they'll say. I mean,
That would be the logical thing.
yeah,
what they'd
the
say.
logical thing is the
Would be
gravitational pull of
Yeah, that
the
would be the argument that they'd say.
yeah.
There's
I
no
mean,
obvious
Then I would ask them
gravity.
for one practical example
they
of
use
that.
that for
They
the.
can't show me a
what they say.
practical example of that.
Science can't show you a lot of things.
Exactly.
I mean, science is just what is a fact today may not be a fact in 100 years' time.
Do you think it's concerning that there is absolutely no actual real photographs or videos from space?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Well, the images that if you go to NASA,
Yeah.
and you go to any of these institutions and you look for like images, photograph from space or photographs of satellites in space
Yeah.
or any kind of like a photograph that we would take right here and now.
Yeah.
There's none.
You mean like because okay, just in my head, I would say when you see a picture of a nebula, you know, like a beautiful nebula, what would you say that is?
That's a computer generated image.
Okay, yeah, it is a computer-generated image of what they perceive that it would look like, because obviously they don't see the
It's
colours.
not really science then, it's
Yeah,
more done into
it's-
religions, is it not?
Of course, but that's what science is.
Yeah, a
Science
religion.
is a religion.
Every year, NASA show pictures of the Earth with blue marble shots. Right? Now, this is taken off NASA's own website, 1978 and 1912. Notice the different sizes of America. Do you think there's something odd there?
I think that's a fairly different size. Are you sure that's America though?
Wait, is that the same place?
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
Remember, that's NASA's official photograph. Sorry, even I'm conditioned to saying it.
Yeah.
That's NASA's official images.
Yeah, well,
This is a picture from the far side of the moon. Using your critical thinking, do you really think that's real?
it doesn't look like that because the moon is awfully far away.
Yeah, I
for Earth
wouldn't
to
say
be
that's
that size. Yeah.
There's a famous picture of, or the video of the Apollo module coming round the far side of the moon, and the moon's tiny. The Earth is tiny.
Yeah.
No,
that can't.
I don't think that looks real.
Now, see, that's just because I've asked you to use your critical thought there.
Yeah.
Most of us just look at the television and accept it. I don't know if you know, but say watching television is the closest you'll be to hypnosis, because your mind is in a state of suggestion, it's open to everything.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's not in a critical frame of thinking. But when I said to you, could you use your critical thinking before looking at this, and you both agree that's not very real looking, is it?
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen evidence of the curvature of the Earth?
I've seen photos where you can see a very, very slight gradient, and obviously the Earth is huge, so that has been as far as I've needed to convince not even easy to convince myself, but
Yeah.
as far as proof goes,
So you think that's proof that there's evidence of the curvature?
I think it's as far as my life experience goes, yeah, that's the closest I'd
We've
get
seen the
without
curvature.
actually actively researching it.
Where have you seen the curvature?
Well, you can be on a plane and see it, and also there's a horizon. Stuff disappears over the horizon from bottom down. So like a ship going over the horizon, the way that it disappears over the horizon.
Okay. Right, two things there. I would suggest you've not seen the curvature there from a plane.
Okay.
I certainly haven't, and I've paraglided myself, solo at high altitudes. I've flown at high altitudes. I've used a video recorder and a camera. I've never seen any curvature. Here is pictures from a high altitude balloon, amateur balloon, not your NASA official photographs.
Right.
And you can see all the horizons are completely flat and at eye level.
At the age I went to school, I was very open to suggestion. Everything I had ever been taught up until that point had came from an adult. There was no reason for me to question anything the adults were telling me. As far as I was concerned, they were my teachers. They'd been here, they'd done the research, and that's who I could learn from. At that point, my critical thinking hadn't developed, and I was there to learn. As everybody told me, you're going to school because you're going to learn, so stick in and listen to what you're told. I had no reason to not to believe what I was being told, or if there was any agenda behind it. You're just at that young age, open to suggestion, and just doing what you're told like everybody else. Well, it helped me respect authority and understand when to hold my hand up when I need a pee. Develop my critical thinking? Definitely not, no. No. I've got a phrase I use that locked me in the left subconscious hemisphere of the brain, where all thoughts stem from what it knows. No, definitely not. Did not help me develop critical thinking. That came later on in life, when the deep questions I always had, I went searching myself for the answers, and everything all pieced together. Well, it just goes to show how closely linked all these institutions really are, how they're all working on behalf of each other, how it's all integrated through the education system, the television broadcasting, the newspapers, all the magazines, the radio. It's all linked, they're all in it together. And with that platform, nobody really questions it, because you think you're fed that truth for day one. Why would you question it?
And can I ask you guys if you've heard of cognitive dissonance and what it means?
I haven't.
No.
Cognitive dissonance means that something you've believed inherently all your life, and probably everybody else around you believe it, in the media and television tell you, reconfirm that. So you believe that all your life. So along comes somebody like me saying, oh, perhaps that's not actually true. I'm just going to wait till this tractor passes by. Deary me. Yes, so with cognitive dissonance, you believe something all your life, and along comes me saying,
else,
but have you thought of, and you immediately dismiss it because...
In denial.
Plus you've been socially conditioned to actually believe that is true, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
You fundamentally believe it's true.
Yeah.
So don't be stupid, of course it's true. So, I'm not going to go into the subject that you may think is a wee bit out there, but this subject is growing so much on the internet. I don't know if you've come across it yet, but could I ask you, what shape do you think the place is that you live on?
Oh, the Earth. I do believe it's round.
You believe it's round?
Yeah, I believe round.
You believe? I could ask you both why you believe that, and could I just say that you did say you believe? So is it a belief or is it direct experience, do you think?
Well, I have based it more or less on the fact that so I've got, is it Dutch-Swan syndrome? So
Yes,
you see everything else is round and you sort of just think this must be, and photos as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of do show it as having a curvature.
I think I'm at the point where I don't think somebody could say something to me that would make me think differently. That I'd say the Earth is round. If somebody would dispute that, I don't think I could persuade to
I'd
believe
need
that.
proof, I think.
So could I play with this a little with you?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Do you have proof that it's a ball?
Well, nothing beyond photos that I've seen where it has a clear curvature, but I don't think that's proof enough. There's no such thing as a video that you see the whole Earth spinning, and you
true.
wonder why.
There's no 24/7 high definition video of the Earth spinning,
exactly, yeah.
showing all the weather patterns and lightning and so forth, and stars in the background. That doesn't exist.
Do you think that at some point they could be though? Do you think it's just because we just don't have things in place? Because it's like
people are more
exploration.
interested in finding things about other planets that they're probably not that interested in just having a video of the Earth.
But also, like, space exploration is still in its infancy. We just haven't had time to maybe establish a 24-hour thing.
But I mean, to go as far as a flat Earth, there would have to be something that is told to me as evidence that makes me think, okay.
So you mentioned flat Earth. You've obviously been looking at it on the internet, have you?
Well, no. I just I know of a couple of people who are in the Flat Earth Society. There's the rapper B.O.B.
Yeah, it's quite a big thing.
It is, yeah. It's been growing traction. I mean, I've seen it. I've not really looked into it beyond my.
Could I suggest to you that all these images you see of the Earth, none of them are real. None of them are actual photographs. They're all composites.
But for me, it just didn't add up. That's why I searched to find my answers. I mean, you know yourself, as soon as you start to ask questions to people that you trust, they look at you as if you're crazy. They've never heard anything any different. It's all they know. It's a testament to their condition. The society right now is in a state of fear-based ignorance. Even the people that are becoming more aware of what's going on, they become in a state of fear of even speaking out against it for fear of ridicule. But it's getting so easy to see nowadays. It's time for more and more people to start standing up, getting their act together, and just not being scared of other people's reactions. Or, as far as I'm concerned, it's time for all this nonsense to end. Let's move on. Well, why does it matter so much to them what shape I think the Earth is? Why is this lie being perpetuated in such a way to convince me that I live in a spinning ball that was created by some miraculous Big Bang and everything occurred from this Big Bang? Why is it so important to them that I believe that I am an accident? That all this came from one big accident? So I answer that with a question. To me, it's why is it so important to them to convince me of the shape of the Earth, not how important it is to me to know the shape of the Earth. That I don't live in a globe. What makes them think they're so right that they live in a globe? For me, it's common sense. Testable, measurable and repeatable evidence shows that we do not live in a globe.
So if you're standing on a beach, is the horizon at eye level?
I don't know, yeah, I guess,
the horizon.
And it's flat?
Yeah.
If you're standing on a mountain, is it eye level?
Yeah.
Is it flat?
Yeah.
At high altitude, you can see it's level and it's flat, despite what NASA tried to tell us with their photographs. That's another independent high altitude balloon.
But who took these? How do we know who took
These are amateur balloons. They're not official photographs.
These are on our course as well, so
Sure.
Yeah. But
One more.
does such a photo exist showing the whole Earth as flat? Because
Well, the thing is, I'm not saying it's flat, but I'm not coming across with any models and telling you what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just challenging your critical thinking to question what you've been told it is. Did you hear about Felix? I forget his second name.
Oh yeah, the
yeah,
Red
the
Bull.
guy
Right.
who dropped.
Yeah.
Now, I fly drones and I've got a fisheye lens on it, which makes everything curved.
Yeah.
Now he's got a fisheye lens on his helmet. Now there's a little photograph here taken from inside the capsule which contradicts what he's got on his helmet.
Alright.
Do you see
Oh
that?
yeah, that little bit there. But that doesn't really show the whole horizon.
No, but you can go online and see it a lot bigger than that. And I've just shown you a couple of other photographs there showing you the whole horizon being flat.
Yeah. Definitely looks flat.
Now, I'll just stop this truck gets past. You have Robert Simmons, who works on behalf of NASA. He came out recently, you can see him on YouTube and on anywhere on the internet. He's stating that the blue marble which he created is Photoshop. He says it has to be. So he's actually admitting that it's not real photographs.
The blue marble's the picture of the Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So he's admitting that they're Photoshop, which Photoshop being composites taken from a high altitude balloon or aeroplane off the Earth and then make them into a curved shape, you know, editing it and joining it together to make it look like it's a ball. So that's NASA admitting they're not photographs themselves. And I would say that none of us have direct experience of curvature. We've never seen it. And you mentioned ships going over the horizon. Now if you go to YouTube and you'll see a ship way in the horizon just disappearing and then it's out of view. So people are saying, oh look, it's gone over the edge. But then somebody uses a zoom camera, telescope zooms in, and the ship comes back into view with the bottom of the ship, showing it's a matter of perspective, not curvature.
And all the evidence is there for everybody to do their research and see. The list of things to show that we are stationary and flat is overwhelming. The evidence to suggest we live on a globe is pseudoscience and bizarre imagery. So for me it's common sense. Well, for me I tend to stick with the images and ask people to look for real images from space of Earth and to look at them with an open mind and just question the validity. Validity, yes, the validity of these pictures, and from there, just look at the horizon, understand how water behaves. Water will always find its level and always remain flat.
Is that what it demonstrates?
Is that what it demonstrates there? The puddle is flat. The curvature of the sea. There is no curvature of the sea. It's sea level, not sea curvature. And the mathematics is there to see how much curve there should be per square inch per mile. It doesn't add up. I think when people seriously start questioning this, the answers become obvious and there's not really much to question once you've sussed it out. Is that nice? I would say very few of my thoughts are my own. For me, original thought comes from a place of silence in between thoughts. Most thoughts, the brain's active constantly. So do I control my mind or does my mind control me? Sometimes you've just got to silence the noise, the thoughts that you're having to come up with some original thoughts. So constantly I'm thinking every day, are they thoughts my own or are they influenced by ulterior sources? In between the thoughts I can come up with original thought. That's the thoughts I believe are genuinely my own.
For me, the fear sort of side of things subsided pretty quick. I was able to let go of all my existing beliefs quite easily. So it did, I mean, when I first found out, I wanted to go to the papers. I wanted to tell the world. I wanted to expose this, you know. But when you realise that people just weren't quite ready for that, it made it quite difficult. But I'm here now, so... Well, it initially didn't actually take me all that long to run the idea past my mum, but this was before I properly researched it, and boy did I regret that. When I was doing my mum's hair, I said to her, "Mum, see when they decided that the world wasn't flat and that it was a globe, were you like around when that decision was made?" And wow, she went absolutely bonkers at me, probably because I was insinuating that she was 500 years old, and also that the world wasn't a globe and that it was flat. So her reaction kind of put me off speaking about it to a lot of people. So that just made me all the more determined to go out, do my own research, get my own evidence, and then, you know, be able to put this to her. And I've still not put it to her properly in a whole kind of package the way that I want to, but I feel that I'm ready to do that now. I've kind of done enough research and I do know enough about it, and I think, I mean, once you know, and you can't deny it. And I think it is really important that I can tell my friends and my family, because this can impact their life as well. It can better their life, empower them, you know. Life doesn't have to be living a lie, a huge, huge lie.
On a mass level, definitely. I work with the general public, so every day I'm having conversations with people of all walks of life, and 9 times out of 10 everything that comes out their mouth is all TV based, or what they've seen on TV and media over the past 24 hours. Are they thinking for themselves, or are these thoughts being implanted into them? Are they aware of their own thoughts, or are they just regurgitating everything they've seen and having an emotional tie to what they've seen? Thoughts have definitely been manipulated. And I've not watched TV now for, I think, 3 years ago I turned my TV off, and I certainly won't be turning it back on. But when I go to friends' houses, family members' houses, and the TV's on, I can witness how it's speaking to them like immature children. The nonsense that's coming from it, the total drivel. It's beyond me how most people are unaware. So the thoughts are definitely being manipulated on every scale, every level, not just within flat earth or the heliocentric globe model. The thoughts are being manipulated in every single way, whether it's how you feel about wars, social structures, politics. Everything's been manipulated. Until people have the sense to turn the TV off and stop bombarding themselves with the establishment's crap, that's the only way we're going to work things out.